G'day guys, Pete Moriarty here. I am unboxing my brand new Facebook portal. Actually, it's not just one, I bought two. I bought both of them, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the latest in consumer communication technology, where this is going, and the one reason I decided to finally pull the trigger and buy these bad boys. Just arrived all the way from the US. They're not yet available in Australia. They cost me quite a bit of money. I think it was $200 US for the smaller one and maybe $300 or $350 US for the big one. And by the time you convert that to Australian dollars, it ends up being pretty expensive. But these are pretty darn cool devices. That's the small one, and this one, the big one, is called the Portal Plus. Now these are pretty cool devices. Because these are integrated not just with Facebook chat and Facebook Messenger, but they are just announced, so not yet, but just announced, going to be integrating with WhatsApp as well. And that's why I actually bought them, because most of my very close friends use WhatsApp, and I use WhatsApp calling and WhatsApp video calling pretty much exclusively now to connect with my friends, particularly when I'm traveling, because I might be anywhere in the world, and as long as I have an internet connection, I can still basically connect with whoever I need to. So I've kind of defaulted to using those messaging apps instead of phone calls on my normal cellular network for pretty much anyone in my personal life. Now, in my business world, I still use a product called Dialpad, and our whole company runs on that. We use that for all of our business calls. But when my mom or my sister or my friends call me, I want them to connect with me. We want to jump on a video together, and that's typically integrated with either Messenger or something like WhatsApp. So that's why I bought these. WhatsApp support isn't quite active just yet, but it's going to be switched on sometime this year. So we have the Portal and we have the Portal Plus. No real difference between the two, except that the Portal Plus has got a much bigger screen and it can rotate. And this one does 1080p rather than the smaller one, which I assume is 720. Anyway, let's get into these. Why these and why Facebook? And a lot of people are kind of curious, like, is it safe to have a Facebook device with a camera in your house? Is that a good idea? And if you are an extremely privacy conscious person, then that might be something that might be a little bit uncomfortable for you. Now, Facebook promises that all of their communications are fully encrypted. I think personally it's going to come down to whether or not you're comfortable with Facebook using your data and your analytics and your behaviors to serve you ads and to serve other people ads as well, because they use everyone's behaviors to learn about what ads they might want to serve to different people. So I'm not too worried, honestly, about having a Facebook camera in my home. I think it's pretty cool. This is the Portal. We'll talk about that in a second. And they even ship it with a little rubber thing that goes over the camera so you can hide it. The question you've got to ask yourself is, am I comfortable with Facebook's practices as a company, and do I want to support that business? Now, for me, I had to weigh that up with staying connected with my family and making it easy for my mum to call me, and so I chose to go ahead and grab these devices. Anyway, so this is the Portal. It's like kind of one solid device. Let's get the plastic off here. And I've got to say, it's kind of like quite nice build quality. It's got some nice weight to it. It's kind of like a plasticky matte finish, and it's got a fairly cool screen there, nice and glossy, and a big camera with a nice kind of wide looking lens on it. The reason I bought two is I bought one for the office, so when I'm working away in the office and if I've got someone calling me, I don't have to like kind of run to the other side of the house to the kitchen to just to answer the call. I can pick that up straight away. And then I've also got this bad boy here, which is the big one. This one's going to actually go in the lounge, and I'm going to use that one for my my primary kind of calling when I want to connect with someone in the family. Okay, so we've got the basic Portal here. Let's see what else is in the box. So we have charger, not much in there. Little thumbs up from Facebook, that's nice of them. And a hi. See, they're trying to be so friendly. They're just trying to really distract you from them harvesting all of your data and all of the other weird background stuff that's going on. But here we go. Here's the little piece. Kind of worried about losing that. But that's the little piece that kind of pops over the top if you really are worried about your privacy. I'm not quite sure where to put that when I'm not using it. Maybe on the side of the screen, I guess. So I've got a couple of buttons up the top, plus and minus, which I assume is for volume. And then there's one kind of button with a little tactile bump on it I assume that one is for answering and finishing calls, but I can't say for sure. A couple of sensors along the front here, look like 2 microphones, and a couple of maybe ambient light sensors to probably get the exposure and stuff like that correct. Okay, so why don't we put this, this little one to the side here. Let's go ahead and work on the big guy. So let's get there we go. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Check it out. That is massive. What a big screen. Oh, wow, it's actually quite heavy. This is the big device. So let's go ahead and rotate the screen. That happens quite nicely. Wow, look at that. Isn't that cool? And it's fairly nice, again, fairly nice design. Let's pull off all of these. And it's actually got quite a large speaker design down the bottom. Now, I'm assuming that part of the weight of this kind of base and the speaker is just to kind of keep it stable on the table so it's not kind of, you know, rocking over or anything. Some kind of USB-C port at the back. That might be for some kind of accessories or something. We've got another kind of speaker breather port, power plug and power button here. For this one, we just have our power cable, another little privacy thing to pop on the top there. I actually brought a power lead along with me, so let's plug it in and see what happens, because I'm really curious to see what their setup and onboarding is like. Now it looks like it's asking me for my Wi-Fi login first. So welcome to Portal, swipe left to continue. It's going to make it easy for us to connect, blah, blah, blah. Or when you voice commands, you can say, hey Portal, to start a call. That's pretty cool. Okay, while this is downloading, I'm going to go and start setting up the second one. May as well while we wait. It's asking me to get signed in, which I assume is just kind of my standard Facebooky sign in. So go to facebook.com/device and enter this code. Okay, so we're going to do it via a code. So let's see if we can get this to work. What? Saying my user code is invalid. It's weird. Let's try using Facebook password instead. Okay, so after much effort, we are now logged in. 2-factor authentication has been done. And I'm greeted with my photo here, which is pretty cool. And we're going to go ahead and see what happens when we log in. Give your portal a name. Okay, so this one is going to be living room. Wow, it really takes some time, doesn't it? Okay, see how smart camera works. All right, so it's automatically going to adjust to keep me in the frame. Let's try that. There we go. Wow, that's pretty cool. Wide angle, and it's automatically actually going to zoom and find where I am in the room, which is pretty groovy. That looks awesome. All right, add some favorites. Okay, so it's automatically picked some of my family members here, and it's going to let me just automatically set them as favorites, as people that I might want to call. That is very cool. Okay, I can even connect my Spotify or Pandora. I don't really use those. I use YouTube Music. And get calls only when I'm home. Okay, so first impressions. This looks pretty damn cool. The touchscreen is like amazingly responsive. It feels like a big iPad. It's like really, really responsive and smooth when you move it. If I swipe over to the side here, I've got all my contacts, which pretty much gives me, you know, from suggested people to effectively my whole Facebook contact list, which is pretty damn crazy. But I've also got games and Spotify and apps. Honestly, I don't really care about any of that stuff. The primary purpose for me is using this for my calling and keeping up with friends and family. And you can see here I've automatically got some favorites here. I'm curious to see whether or not it will let me do a group video call automatically, because that's you know, obviously one of the cool things that you can do inside of Messenger, but I'm not sure if you can do group video calls here. And I can, up the top here, see everyone whose birthday it is today. So if I forget that it might be someone's birthday, I can just click on their picture and go ahead and I can call them. Oh, look, someone is giving me a call. Now, I'm curious why that's not actually showing up here in my Facebook. I can see Christy calling me. Maybe let's try giving her a call back. So let's see if we can find Christy. Hey, Portal. I don't know how that works yet. I'm not even sure what the command is. Here we go. All right, let's video call Christy and see what happens. Wow, look at this.
Hang on, it's calling me on my phone instead of on my laptop.
Hey, there we go. Awesome.
Let me do it like this.
That looks really good. And I can go in portrait mode and then you turn into portrait. Cool. And then if I move around, it should follow me. Woo!
How is it? What is this thing?
This is a Facebook portal. I'm gonna say goodbye now. I'm gonna wrap this video and then I'm gonna call you back. All right, so overall that was pretty good. Like the quality was amazing. It didn't call to Christy's computer. It only called to her phone, which was kind of interesting. So I'm curious if it would actually work to computers yet, or maybe it's only to messenger apps on the phones. Anyway, I'll have to research that and see what kind of happens. But like overall, that was really cool. The picture quality was amazing, as you saw that. I've got a pretty good internet connection, so that's definitely not gonna be a bottleneck. But overall, like I really like the experience of this so far. It's not yet integrated with WhatsApp. I'm desperately waiting for that. I expect that'll happen in the next couple of months. For now, I'm kind of stuck with video calling on Facebook, but expect a follow-up video at some point in the future. Let me know what questions you have below, post them down below, and I'll be sure to answer them as we use it. And if we do a follow-up video in the future, I will answer as many questions as possible there. Until next time, take it easy. Cheers.